What's happening, everyone? Hope you're all doing well and are ready for this video I have lined up for you. I wanted to get into the story of Doom Eternal and see how it could all play out for the Doomslayer. Before I get going, I appreciate all those who have supported the channel this far, and for those who are new here, I hope you enjoy the video along with all of my other videos. You guys are awesome, and I hope to keep the Doom Eternal videos rolling along and to keep the channel growing. Alright, let's get going. So far from what we know from the story trailer and other sources is that Doom Eternal will include many locations and enemies on both sides from heaven and hell. We know that the Slayer was betrayed by Samuel Hayden and that hell will invade Earth. So let's dig into how the story might be portrayed in this installment of Doom. Keep in mind that this is all just speculation, but who knows, maybe some of it might happen. In one of my earlier videos titled "Where Did the Slayer Go After Doom 2016?" I had a few theories on where he went and what led up to the events of Doom Eternal. After Doom 2016, Samuel took the Crucible from the Slayer and then sent him to an undisclosed area by way of the tether system or portal. In my video, I suggested that he was sent back to hell, and while he was there, he met up with the Wretch to update his armor and then meet up with the Seraph to obtain another Crucible sword. However, that speculation doesn't seem to match up with the new gameplay demos and reveals as of lately. He still could have been sent to hell, but since we have seen the envelope of the lithographs that were sent out to the winners from last month's Slayer Club giveaway, it shows him in his updated armor in front of a Sentinel army, which would have taken place before the events of both games. So it seems that the updated armor is more of a design change rather than having more of a backstory to it. Who knows, maybe there will be more info on it when we finally get to play the game. Anyway, the Slayer could have gone to hell and found the Wretch to get an update on the situation of hell and what they are up to after the defeat of the Spider Mastermind. That could be why in the story trailer we hear someone at the very beginning say, "Why are you here?" The Wretch was most likely not expecting the Slayer to show up anytime soon, but since he helped him in the past, he would most likely help him out again. At this point, I would say that this would be the first part of Doom Eternal in a way to introduce the game and have the tutorials, etc. The reason why Samuel Hayden could have sent him to hell is so that the Slayer could potentially find new artifacts or research for Hayden, as he can pull them back to Mars at any time and take the things from the Slayer. Not to mention, having the Slayer in hell keeps him away from Hayden's research, as he now knows he will definitely get in the way. After wandering in hell and killing demons for a small part of the game, the Slayer is then tethered back but to Phobos. Hayden might have sent him there to deal with the invasion of the moon base. We know that Hayden and Slayer are not allies, but Hayden knows that the Slayer will kill demons no matter where they are, so he sent him there to deal with the threat. However, he underestimates him when the Slayer aims the BFG 10,000 at the base on Mars and blasts away, destroying the base and penetrating the core of the planet. In my last video, I mentioned about the core and why there is an ancient city there, so check that one out. I'll have the link in the description below. The Slayer probably thought, kill two birds with one stone. Get rid of Hayden and open up the core so he can get down to the ancient city. That could be what happened to Hayden, as we see him somewhat destroyed in the story trailer. The Slayer then descends down to the core of Mars, where we've seen in the E3 gameplay. He then enters the slip gate to go to Sentinel Prime. However, before doing so, the demo shows a cyber demon emerging from the slip gate, but I don't think he will be there in the final version of the game. There might be another boss fight, but the area seemed too small for fighting a cyber demon, unless the cyber demon grabs the Slayer and throws him through the slip gate and fights him there. You can see the Colosseum through the slip gate, so it's possible to fight the cyber demon in the arena. He could have also fought him in another part of the ancient city, as we see him in the Crucible in the story trailer. However, trailers are usually not 100% accurate and could be completely different in the final product. Sentinel Prime would probably contain a big portion of the game, as this is where we will be able to dig really deep into the lore and origins of the story. Not to mention, there could be multiple locations and new enemies to come across, such as the Marauders. If you're a lore nerd like myself, then this is the goldmine for exploring the content and areas to know more about the Doom universe. Sentinel Prime is such an important place in the Doom universe, as it will contain many answers to the Slayer, the Night Sentinels, the invasion of Argent-Deneur, the betrayal, and so on. Within this region, we may also come across the Hell Priests that are on the mural, which seem to be 3 of them. One of them could be De Grave, who was the Hell Priest that brought down Argent-Deneur and the raids. We could also come across the other gladiator-type demon from the mural, or he could be in another part of Hell. All in all, this area is definitely going to be a big focus in the game and will provide a ton of backstory and content. If Sentinel Prime and Argent-Deneur have a lot in common, then there's a good possibility that there will be a slipgate or portal to go back to Hell. Hell invaded Argent-Deneur and consumed the world into theirs, so there would still be some kind of active portal between the dimensions allowing the Slayer to cross through. The reason the Slayer would want to go back to Hell would be to find the portal that would have been open between Earth and the Dark Realm, rather than go back the way he came. He could have found out about the invasion of Hell on Earth by talking with either the Sentinels, the Wretch, or the Seraphim that helped him in the past while being in Sentinel Prime. After entering into our world and seeing the destruction before him, he would feel very upset for what the UAC has done to the world and for the near extinction of the human race, all for the sake of Argent energy. To be honest, I think being upset would be an understatement. We would then see the Slayer fight countless demons as he fights his way to the Super Gore Nest. There he will fight the Doom Hunter, who has been dispatched by the UAC as a contingency plan against the Slayer who might interfere with the invasion. The platform surrounding the Super Gore Nest looks like the perfect place for a boss fight, especially the Doom Hunter. There's enough space for him to hover around, and if the Slayer gets too close, he'll use the double chainsaw on him. After an intense fight, the Slayer defeats the Doom Hunter and destroys the Super Gore Nest, which would cripple the invasion in that region for a time. At this point, it's still unclear what part Heaven has to play in Doom Eternal, but if they are enemies to the Slayer, then they could intervene and capture the Slayer and take him to their realm. Keep in mind, this version of Heaven is completely science fiction and would not reflect the Heaven that many believe in. Upon being captured by Heaven, it could go two different ways. The first way would be that they are allies to the Slayer and wanted to help him and to provide a way to permanently end the invasion of Hell on Earth. They would tell him that the Icon of Sin is the mastermind of the invasion, and by killing it would end the attack on Earth, thus saving humanity. This method would be a reflection of what happened in Doom 2, so that could be the probable ending. The other path could be that Heaven was behind the invasion and wanted humanity to suffer for their disobedience and worshipping of Hell. The Slayer then would fight Heaven and have a big boss fight with a seraph or a god of sorts. After defeating the boss, the Slayer would continue to fight angels, and then the campaign would come to a close. We know that there will be DLC campaign missions, so the ending would most likely end on a cliffhanger, allowing room for more content. The developer said in an interview recently that the campaign is going to be longer than Doom 2016, but can't say exactly how long quite yet. The story of Doom is going to be full of content and lots of lore to find throughout each level. Those who want to go off the beaten path will be rewarded for the lore, but for other rewards as well. I can't express how excited I am for Doom Eternal and can't wait to get my hands on it. Let me know what you think of my speculation of how the story might end up in the comment section. I may be completely off or not, but let's get the conversation going and see who will be the closest when the game is released. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, smash that like button and subscribe, as it will help me out a ton and to continue to get these Doom videos out there. Be sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter accounts at RipNtear Gaming. You guys are awesome like always, and until next time, don't forget to rip and tear. Peace.